welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're seeing me for the first time, hello, my name is Furo. So in this video we're going to be comparing Canada versus the UK. So someone reached out to me on Instagram and she said to me, Furo, please can you compare Canada and the UK because I'm trying to move and I don't know where to go. And I was like, am I the right person to talk about this topic? Because me, I never go to Canada. But she said to me, because you've been to America before, and I hear America and Canada is almost like brother and sister, so you could, use that idea and compare the two places. I was like, okay. I went to work. I reached out to a couple of my friends in Canada who have been to Canada, UK, and the US. And I asked them, what's popping? What's going on? Tell me. And this is what they told me, and I want to compare with my knowledge of being in the US, and also getting this information from there and just carrying US, look the Canada, and then living here in the UK. I want to compare these two cities, countries, so that you make that informed decision. Because I know the relocation they have to make, but somehow you have to make that decision. Okay, number one, let's compare crime rates. According to research, and people there also I asked, he said that Canada has 23% less crime rates compared to the UK. So if you want a place that is very peaceful, that that the crime rate is really reduced, go to Canada. And I don't think 23% is too much. For someone that's coming from Nigeria, 23% in my head is not too much. 23% is just too much. Like, I just be going to a country because it's 23% less crime rate. It's not even 50, it's not even 100. Okay, so if you want a very more peaceful place, go to Canada, because according to research, Canada is 23% less crime rates. Number two, job availability. So for me, although some of the people I asked think that there are more jobs in Canada than in the UK, but for me, I feel like there are more jobs in the UK than in Canada, because one, proximity to the world. UK is closer to the world in my head than Canada, because I live in Nigeria and UK is closer to Nigeria. So I just feel like UK is closer to, is like a central country than Canada. So why not come to the central country first? So I feel like there are presence of a lot of companies here than Canada. And I also feel like because UK don't mind on your UK experience, all those kind of things, they just want you to have an experience. So if you have experience coming from your country, they don't mind. They are going to take you like that. But Canada, they always, emphasize on this Canadian experience. So what happens if you just came to the country and you don't have this Canadian experience? It means you're just going to take whatever you see until whatever happens, until you get that Canadian experience, which I don't even know how it is evaluated. Okay, so for me, UK jobs are here, and accessibility to this job is better here than in Canada. So let's say, for example, if you're a nurse or you're a doctor and you want to practice in the UK as a nurse or as a doctor, it is easier to get the job. So all you need to do is pass one or two exams that they have told you to write, and once you pass, the job is ready. Meanwhile, in Canada, transitioning into a nurse, when I'm watching some videos and when I'm asking a couple of friends about it, I'm like how, why? Transition into a medical practitioner in Canada is more difficult. Here, if you have any skills that you come with, like say IT, whatever you came with from your country, you can easily transition by doing one or two courses, or just showing that you can do the job, and they will take you sharp. No long thing, no waste time. They just need the experience. Wherever you come with the experience, they don't care. Wherever you got the experience, they don't want to know. But just have experience and be able to prove that you got the experience. They are going to take you here in the UK. But Canada, you have to look for Canadian experience, and that depends on who is willing to take you without the Canadian experience. So I feel like for job, you will struggle more in Canada than in the UK. Number three is salaries. Okay, let me say something. So according to research, they say an average beginner salary is about 2,270 £7 here in the UK, which is true. But if you work a little harder, you can get more than that. Yes, you can get more than that. So in Canada, they say it's $4,727 Canadian dollars, which if you convert pounds to dollars, the difference is just $500, which I think now $500 will make you go Canada. It's not much, so it's almost the same thing. Okay, it's almost the same thing. If the difference of a starting salary is just 500, so they pay 500 more in Canada than in the UK. So why am I moving to Canada? I don't know. The next one is housing. In fact, this one, Canada got it for me. Like, just because of this housing shege, I can just move to Canada because their house is far structured and far better than the UK. In fact, this one, I don't even want to convince you because in this UK, house show me shege. Although it's also difficult to get a house because some YouTubers I've watched on YouTube also say it's hard to get a house, but when you finally get this house, it's well structured, it's well, put together, it's spacious than here in the UK. But here in the UK, the same amount of house, you might rent that house and it doesn't have a wardrobe. It's not well structured, it's not well pleasing, it's not, it's not well arranged. So because of housing, I can't even move to Canada. Like, Canada got it for me when it comes to housing. Like, they win. Even the environment, Canada win too. So I'm gonna take that one. The next one is immigration. So let me explain. For UK, when it comes to students visa, so if you're coming here with a student visa, it is not defined. The pathway is not clear. You're just coming with God and the blood of Jesus, coming to know that, just coming and praying that the blood of Jesus work out for you. But for Canada, student pathway is defined and is clear, so you know where you're going at every point in time. So if you come to Canada, to a province like Saskatchewan, I don't know how to pronounce it, but you know what I'm trying to say. Saskatchewan. I don't know. Oh my God. Some of the cities, the way it's pronounced, Ataya. So I was reading about the immigration of this particular city where I'll put the spelling on the screen. And they said if you do a program for 1 year, you get your post-study visa and you're able to work in this province for 6 months, you are eligible to apply for permanent residence. Woo! What? Where's my bag? I'm packing my bag. I'm going. I am going. So it means for the 2 years I've spent here in the UK, if I was a Saskatchewan or Saskatchewan, I don't know how to pronounce that, I would have been a permanent resident. Canada got there for me. Like, why didn't I know about this information? Nobody told me. So if you're going to Canada as a student, the pathway is clear. But if you're coming to the UK, the pathway is not clear. All they have for you is your post-study work permit, and after that, if you don't get an employer who's going to transfer your visa to a work visa until you are going back to your country or you have hanged, which I feel shouldn't be so. Also, to UK with a tier 2 visa, you have to work for a particular person or a particular company for 5 years before you are able to apply for the ILR and then become a citizen. But Canada, from your home country, if you done all the T's and you're qualified, you can actually go from your home country to Canada as a permanent resident. Oh my God. I feel like crying. And then in 3 years you can become a citizen. Wow. Canada got it for immigration for me. Like, and most of us were struggling with immigration. All we want is immigration. So why come to the UK when you can go to Canada? Canada got it for me. In fact, at this point I think I want to close this video because I start packing my bag. Because what the hell? Like, I didn't even think about it like this until I started doing this video. Anyway, the next one is visa. For visa to come to Canada, all the car you are fighting is really hard. compared to the UK, as long as you got your money to prove. In fact, I think UK is an Igbo man at this point. As long as you got your money to show, they are willing to give you that visa. Chicken. But Canada is really, really difficult. So UK got it for me in this department. When it comes to healthcare, they are both the same because they all operate free healthcare, although you pay health social, but let's just assume it's free healthcare. The next one is proximity to Nigeria and to a lot of other countries. UK got it for me than Canada. So it's 6 hours to Nigeria. You can just, fly to Nigeria and fly back on the same day. If you're balling like that, you got that money, you can just do it. You can actually have an emergency in Nigeria, and in 6 hours you're in Nigeria to sort your emergency. Or you'll be in Nigeria, you have an emergency here in the UK. In 6 hours you're here to sort, your emergencies here in the UK. You don't need any jet lag. It's the same time. Oh my god, that one UK got for me. But Canada, if you want to go, it's 18 hours from Canada to Nigeria. Oh my god. And then you have to struggle with jet lag for a while before you finally settle in. So you can't just go up and down if you still have like relations and family back home in Nigeria. For food, a lot of us foodie that have refused to shed weight because of food. UK got it for me because one, you can say things like fresh water leaf, fresh periwinkle, fresh food, fresh Nigerian food, fresh pepper, fresh nice things that you can buy. Nigerian food, it is very important to us. I don't know about you, but eating Nigerian food is very important to me. Like, even though I go to African store and I spend so much money, I still feel like I cannot do without swallowing gari in a month, like once at least, just swallow gari. So UK have more Nigerian food than Canada because Canada is far. I just kind of just feel like it will be a lot more work to take things like Nigerian food to Canada. So, and I think it will also be cheaper here. So that is it. So for other food, I think it's just the same price. If you convert whatever you're paying here in UK to Canada, it will almost be the same. So that is my thought. So finally, I just feel like both countries are unique in their own ways. Canada is unique in its own way. UK is unique in their own way. But because of immigration, I will say, if you have the opportunity and you want to move, please move to Canada. Just because of immigration, the immigration is easier, because here it's not easy at all to finish your studies, get your work permit, or get an employer that will sponsor you. It's not easy at all, except you are really lucky. It's not easy at all. And just working for one employer for 5 years can be challenging if you're not somebody that is willpowered. Okay, if you're not somebody that is willpowered, that really need the job, that it can be challenging. What if something goes wrong, or this employer doesn't have job anymore and they decide to fire you? That means you are out of status. And you don't want to stay in any country out of status. Like me, I will not want to stay in any country out of status, because that's the most difficult situation you will find yourself. Like, I can't even think about it. So you have access to all these nice things, but because you're out of status, you can't get them. Think about it. So for me, just because of immigration, Canada got it for me. But remove immigration, UK I would like, because there's a lot of leisure. If I remove immigration, I remove accommodation. UK I love, because there's a lot of life here than in Canada. There's leisure, you have access to a lot of countries that you can visit, and flight is affordable to go to those countries. Imagine you want to go to Paris from UK, is quite affordable compared to going from Canada to Paris. Think about it. So this is where I will end this video. So put your comment and your contribution. What do you think about this to contribute in the comment section? I would like to know. Until I see you in another video. Bye bye.